Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Ah, yeah. Greetings, hello, welcome, salut, welcome, saludos, hola, ciao, and all the other ones that I can't be bothered to remember right now. How is everyone? Hope everyone is well. Let's just have a slight adjustment of camera angles. There we go. Howdy doody Austin and Sky and Ricky and Eddie darling. How the devil are you all? As I say, hope you're all well. Namaste indeed. Oh, yellow's in my other bush today. Oh dear. That was a bit browner. Yeah, I'm a bit at the moment. Just realised I got another batch of baby limia flying around in there, so hopefully they're all okay till we can get a net and catch them. Fingers crossed anyway. Not that I need many more at the moment. But hey, the more the merrier, especially if I can sell them. Where were we? Eduardo is lurking and working. Good, good, good. Always good to get your maintenance done on your tanks. I'm a bit ahead of schedule. I managed to get the fry rack done yesterday rather than tomorrow. Mostly because I'm working tomorrow. Now I've only got Tuesday off this week, so gonna be a bit of a rush getting everything done. But hey ho, we shall see what happens. The water changes will be done. Apologies for no Monday video. Not that most people probably noticed I didn't even put one out, but yeah, I was at work. Gave me mushroom stamp when I was sleeping. Oh, thank you very much. Always appreciate mushroom stamps. I'm going to have to start putting that PIR light on, aren't I? Good day, Marquis Mark. So Sharpe, Prince of Plecos, Baron of Bristleys. Oh, get well soon to your dad, Ricky. Got the human ick. Hello, Adele. How are you? Good as girly. And yes, I think we've got everyone. Sorry, just thinking about something. Something I probably shouldn't be thinking about in public. Anyway, so yes, this week lots and lots of worky. Make Sharpe a dull boy. So hey, we got to pay the bills, earn some money. Someone's got to keep the lights, filters, and heaters on in these tanks. So yeah, that's pretty much what our week has consisted of. Mostly work. Did have a visit from, Tuesday was my only day off this week as well. Well, I had Saturday as well as today, but yeah, Tuesday was my only weekday off, and I had a visit from Latte Bunny and Mary, which was awesome as always, because little Latte Bunny, not so little anymore, she's fully grown now. She's always very friendly, gives me lots of snuggles and licks. I may have managed to upset her a bit. Tuesday, exactly. The day of the chew. Yes, I got quite a nice bite off Latte. Took a chunk of skin out. Bless her. But, she was grumpy. And I'm not very good at reading people, let alone rabbits I hardly know. So Not her fault. It was all my fault. Um, I think she was just tired, basically, wanted to sleep, and I was messing about with her. Not that way, you dirty people. Yella. Um, Lucky is doing wonderfully with his new friend Baldrick. They're swimming around together. Lucky is all healed up now. They'll actually be going into the pond this week. They both will. And I've got to see if I can wangle a heater. While I've got that blooming tub running and cycled, it makes sense to just, put something in it. So we shall see. Might be something new and interesting next week. Perhaps another random live bearer or a dwarf sicky lid. We shall see. We shall see what is available locally. Um, but yeah, Lucky is all healed up, no sign of any cat bites or missing scales or anything, and just being a goldfish, which is all you can ask, really. Basically, a stomach with fins. I'm trying to remember what I uploaded. It was a churchy video. Oh yes, it was a Old Buckingham Village Church. Not quite yet, Mark. It's Old Buckingham Village Church that we uploaded on Friday, complete with the grave of Mr. Dick Cocking. Yeah, I know. Then today, Marion was. Neither of us had anything we needed or wanted to really do this weekend, so. Oh, there we go. Pardon me. So we visited a Swaffham church. It's a fair way away, about 3/4 of an hour. Did a bit of a wander around and explore there. There's a rather interesting grave and story behind it, so videoed all that and covered it. And there will be a figure walking around in the video that isn't Mary. Don't worry, it's not a ghost, it's the vicar. The vicar was getting things ready for a baptism this afternoon. Literally, as I finished filming, people started turning up. And what caught my eye was the plaque that mentioned Ladysmith. Trying to remember that. There's lots of plaques and stuff around. I visited a lot of churches, and that one was it back in August or September I filmed that. It might have been early September or late August I filmed that video, so yeah, I can't remember what was in it. This is the problem with the fishy vids, because I'm at that point where I'm starting to have trouble thinking of ideas. So I've only normally got one or two of those ready to go at most. But the churches and things like that, I think I've got about 11. Well, I've got around about a dozen of them ready to go, which does mean I tend to forget what I recorded. There are possible Burr War connection. Yes. I think, if I remember rightly, there was something in there about the people who fought in the Boer War. Trying to remember. Fishy days of our lives. Cheesy voiceover scenes. Oh dear. It's an idea, I suppose, but I don't think I've quite got the voice acting skills or the script writing or editing skills to do that. Scotty Aquati, how you doing? Yeah, I'll come up with some ideas. They just turn up randomly out of the blue, normally at about 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll wake up and go, oh yeah, that would be a good idea for a video. Then I'll fall back asleep again and forget all about it. If it weren't for that, I'd have some absolutely awesome videos, but you know, you just have to settle for piss poor instead. One of these days I'll accidentally produce. It won't be on purpose, it'll be a complete frigging accident, but I'll record something that goes viral. Had my IELTS yesterday. IELT. I thought 4 hours of pain. Yeah, I can imagine. But hey, don't worry about it, Ricky. The older you get, the more you'll realise you start having 16 to 20 hours of pain every day. Then you go to sleep. Now, all joking aside, it's true, the older you get, the more stuff hurts. I mean, yeah, it's not good. Hoping Wednesday morning will allow you to relieve the pain you're dealing with. I hope so too. Oh, the English test non-Brits have to take the study in the UK. Ah, yes. Which probably means you're better at English than most of the people you'll be studying with. Yeah, funny that. It's amazing the amount of English people who are born and bred and raised and all they've ever spoken or written or read is English and they fail an English exam. Yeah, so yes, I hope you get that sorted, Adele. Never good to be in pain. Whether it be physical or psychological. What are you going to say? And then she goes to sleep. No, Mary is no trouble at all. I suspect a part of the fact that we've been together nearly 5 years now, RSI pain, which is suspecting is nerve damage. Oh, I know all about RSI pains, yes. Good old carpal tunnel syndrome. Yeah, I've got it in both wrists. I just ignore it and carry on. Because I'd rather not have the operations, to be honest. It's when you get like the electric shock shoots up your forearm and you just suddenly can't grip anything. So whatever's in your hand, you drop. Trick there is to not pick up. Yeah, so for me, it's more like the electric shock going up and down my arm. Yes, I know the joke about whatever you've got in your hand, you drop. Yes. Fortunately, that doesn't hit the floor when I let go of it. Not yet, anyway. Can't pick up the coffee cup. Oh, that is tragic. We need to get you a straw. One of those curly whirly straws. Oh, empty jars with that paint. Definitely RSI. Yes, definitely. Says Dr. Sharpe, who is in no way a qualified doctor or physician, but has probably had most illnesses and injuries. Yeah, it does sound like carpal tunnel going on there. If he's giving you a check downstairs and you feel both hands on your shoulders, it might be time to get to another doctor. Just saying. Unlicensed gynecologist. Well, yeah. the amount of C words I've seen over and dealt with over the years, yes. Pretty much anyone who works in a customer service role is a gynecologist, because the amount of dealing with absolute we have to do. Yeah. Had one the other day, because if you're not English, you won't be aware, but at the end of September, the last day of September, the old paper £20 notes were taken out of circulation. They were no longer legal tender. And seems, especially around here, for some reason, a lot of people have a lot of cash. Yeah, probably talking, working under the counter, as it were. But yeah, we had a customer come in and tried to pay for something rather expensive with paper £20 notes, who got very upset when they were told they were no longer legal tender. Had a big roll of them, apparently. So, yes. Or a canute, if you're talking about English kings. And it's a safe way of saying that word. You utter canute. Works well. Kids using fake 50s. You know, a lot of shops in the UK won't even take £50 notes. So it's just like, nope, we don't take them. We do, but we have to check very carefully, because most of the time 50s are fake. Really, me, so miserable. I had to send someone to get it. Change the forex, was paying 15% less for it. Result. Anything you get 15% off, you can tell the texture is different. That's the problem with plastic money. The texture's the same, and they feel the same, they look the same. You have to check real close for the holograms and things like that. Yeah, if you handle a lot of cash, it does get easy. You just get hold of it and you go, yeah, that's not real. You then stick it under the light or whatever you do in Oz. We have the UV light and then the pen and things like that. But yeah, you just go, yeah, that's fake. And you hand it back to the customer. Because 9 times out of 10, they've probably got it out of a machine because it's somehow managed to get it in. Well, they've got it changed somewhere, or it's only when they get arsy with it, they're the person that's got lots of them. Had 15k cash. The person was like, I'm allowed to fly with this amount of cash. Yeah, they just don't go around America with too much cash in your pocket. Yeah, I think basically ours have copied the Aussie notes, with all the various security measures. But yeah, I forget what law or bill it was brought it in, but basically, if a policeman thinks you might have the money on you for something illegal, they can confiscate it and you don't get it back, basically. You're going to buy a new car, you've got several $1,000s in cash on you, you get pulled over for speeding. Yeah, they will take your money from you, and you've got to then try and claim it back. Good luck. And it's like, the only dark alleyways Adele's ever gone down are outside the back of clubs at night. Whereas I'm a bad boy, and I tend to frequent the dark alleyways because, I feel safe in them. Generally because I wear all black and I'm virtually invisible. especially this time of year, now the clocks have changed, the most they might see is a face glowing, floating in the middle of. No, it's called civil asset forfeiture. It's real money and the police are dicks. Yep. Yeah. Trick is not to attack, not to act suspicious. Howdy, Chewy. In Canada, it's illegal to carry more than 10,000 on your person in cash. Resisting jokes about Canadian currency and values. Deb's Aqua Pets. Hello, Debbie. How you doing? Well, I'm going to call you Debs from now on because it's a lot easier to say. Well, marginally easier, but you know, you never know if people don't mind having their names abbreviated or having some kind of nickname given to them. Doesn't bother me, but some people do get rather attached to their name. My name is whatever, and boss got busted at a trade show. Yeah, well, you know, if he'd have trusted you to carry the excess, he wouldn't have. Yeah, how many bosses are going to go, right, we got 20 grand here, I can only carry less than 10, so I've got to carry 99 and 99. It's 5 for you, it's 5 for you. Yeah, quite a few employees probably wouldn't come back. But, don't mind being called many things. Yeah, me too. When you settle for see you next Tuesday as something people call you by, you don't worry about too much. Itch. Dry skin. Yeah, what was it? I had an idea. I had a thought process going there. Oh well, never mind. That's where I was going. Yeah, the people who. No, you got to put the lotion in the basket, or else you'll get the hose again. I'm not even going to try the accent. Yes, Buffalo Bill. Got a lot of things, sadly, mostly true. Yeah, well. Imagine how many Loomis drivers get booked for special events as big money. Yes. My best American accent is probably about as good as Dick Van Dyke's English accent, only marginally more offensive. Accents, I can manage a word or two, and then I just end up sounding weird, which is going back to my normal. Well, yeah, my normal weird. Yes. Core blimey, Mary Poppins. See, I can't even do that bad a Cockney accent. Yeah, there's no Cockney has ever sounded like Dick Van Dyke did in Mary Poppins. Or Penis One Lesbian, if you want to call him by his other name. No, it's something that occurs to me because working in retail, I don't know how other countries might be. There are certain things put into effect, certain, because people steal from work. Now, my thinking on it is, what the am I going to be able to steal at work that is going to be worth more than what I would be getting paid for carrying on working? And the problems with the fact that you won't be able to find another job afterwards because you got sacked for stealing? Or are people just so dumb that they don't even think about it? Especially when you get a hefty discount from the place you work at anyway. Van Dyke family sure has an interesting resume. Oh dear. We're not getting all Weinstein-y, are we? Or Weinstein? Weinstein, whatever you. Yeah. Weinstein is probably a better version. There's probably some interesting stuff going on back there. Sounds a very Dutch name, so yeah, could be Jerry Van Dyke's side of the family. Oh dear. Oh, must resist the Jerry Lee Lewis jokes. Too soon. Yeah. Well, at least a lot of 13-year-olds are safe now that Jerry Lee Lewis has passed. Kind of a sad story. Fair enough. Easy now, folks. Everyone better start behaving. The moderator is here, Mr. Danielle Keeping Fish. R.I.P. Jerry Lee Lewis. Your cousins will miss you. Exactly. And before I forget, oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. Yeah, that was even worse than usual. I do apologise. Sorry for anyone on headphones. The moderator. Sounds like a movie. Yeah, well, I mean, Hollywood could do with some new ideas. They've been rehashing the same old ones for the last 20 years or so. Marvel movie remake, Marvel movie remake, Marvel movie remake. So yes. So in other news, fishy wise, nothing much to report. Everyone's still doing as they do. Well, I mean, I just noticed literally half an hour ago that there are now more Limia fries scooting around in there. Watch one of the new Frontier album artists' interviews. Her music is much different than the music she plays with her sisters. I'm glad you didn't put a comma in there, Chewy. Yeah, so I've not really been listening to so much music even this week. Work, sleep, work, sleep. Yeah, pretty much it. Heck, I was off yesterday. Went to lay down and had a nap. 4 hours later, I woke up. So, oh, bongs! I've still got all jobs to do. Can't wait for the new Disney movie about Malcolm X with Chris Pratt. In a fish tank from Inverness, County far away. Inverness, it would be a long time ago, far, far away. Oh dear. Try to remember what the Inverness Football Club was. It Inverness County Thistle or something like that. It's a long, long time since I paid any attention to Scottish football. Last time I had a vague interest in it was when Rangers went bust and got demoted to like the bottom league. That was funny. Basically, just meant that Celtic won the title for the next however many years without any issues. Did Hearts win? I think Hearts might have got it once, but yeah. Oh no, clocks have changed. So, how rude of Corey. He's going to stream over me. Mind you, I'm streaming over someone else. But that's just because the clocks have changed in the UK today. Local club of Morton. Oh dear. Yeah. Aren't they normally referred to as Morton Nil? Something like that. But then my local club is Norwich City, so way different music, well written, but did not expect saxophones for a hard rock singer. You have to be careful typing that as well. I'm assuming it's not like Kenny G doing rock. Evening, Clark. Don't worry about it. There's clocks changing and things, so stuff goes a bit weird for this week or two until the rest of the world catches up. But yeah, so that means it's basically dark at 5 o'clock at night now. So yay. Although I did actually purchase something this week, like modern day Huey Lewis with a female singer. That's kind of cool. Might sound silly, but I bought myself a head torch. Mostly so I can go wandering around kind of creepy places at night and have my hands free. Do I use 5G on my cell phone? And is it unbelievably slow at times in the UK? Let's see. What are we on at the moment? We're not on 5G at the moment because we're on Wi-Fi, but yeah. As soon as I go out of range of my home Wi-Fi, it will switch to 5G. Then depending on where I go, it'll be 4G or 3G. I've not noticed my phone goes slow. But then I remember dial-up, so if it takes a few seconds to load up a website, it doesn't bother me. And generally, all I use my phone for outside of the house is checking the time, replying to YouTube comments, and for Google Maps as a nav to find my way around places where I'm not entirely. Like when I was up Norwich the other week. I mean, I know Norwich pretty well. I've been there many, many, many times, but I was visiting places I don't normally visit, or places that I wouldn't necessarily visit all at the same time. So I set the sat nav, so it was like, right, yeah, this is the closest one, then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. So it also takes me the shortest route, so I didn't have to walk any further than I actually had to. That said, on my way back to the city centre, I did take a shortcut that the sat nav wasn't aware of. But the sat nav wasn't aware that you can cut through the castle mall on foot. And as I needed to go to the loo, that's the way I went. Yes, those are the days. Dial up. Yes. Right, the picture would load one line of pixels at a time. And it'd be going really, really slowly, really slow right down to just before it got to the bit you wanted to see. And then a picture of a naked man would show up. Is generally what used to happen quite regularly. No, I was yeah. Back when it was actually quicker to print the picture out than it was to go back to the website afterwards for future use. Yes, naughty pictures on the internet. So telling the kids about dial-up is like we're talking sign language. Yeah, different language. Yeah, it would be. Get off the phone, I'm on the internet. I mean, literally, my first PC that was internet enabled, you didn't type www.google.co.com or whatever as a web address. You typed in the phone number of that site. Oh yes, Commodore 64. Yeah, I had the Amstrad CPC 464. Specky. What was the Spectrum? 16K, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, put the tape in. Yeah, for about half an hour. Then it fails to load. And you have to rewind the tape back to the beginning, change the volume level on the tape deck, and try again. Yeah, it all got a lot easier when they did the Spectrum with the built-in tape deck. That one worked every time. The Amstrad was bloody horrible because it had a green screen on it, so everything was in like was it? Isn't it very posh saying loo instead of toilet? No, no. Loo is just a common parlance. I mean, if you wanted to be non-posh, you say bog or dumper or dunny. It's never referred to as a restroom in the UK. Because a restroom is somewhere you go to have a rest. Loo is when posh builders call in, yeah. What posh builders call it, the loo. Yes, the lav, the throne room. All this shit. Yeah. Yeah, that works just as well. Yes, there's all sorts of names for it. It's very, very, very rare we actually use toilet or lavatory or water closet. Um, yeah, loo is just the general one. Going to the loo. It's not crude enough that it'll get you in trouble anywhere. Um, it's just, yeah, I'm not even sure what loo would be an abbreviation of. Might be from the French, I can't remember. But there we go. Presidential election in Brazil, a lot of rainforest type issues on the election platform. And allegedly, in my opinion, he says, getting that all out of the way, whichever one is getting paid the most by the drug cartels, the waste evacuation lounge. King Louis III, like people. Well, I'm the king of the swingers, the jungle VIP. I reach the top and that's the stop and that's what's bothering me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the king of the swingers. Yeah, who'd have thought that would make it into a Disney movie? Once you given what was in on adverts, what's on Disney Channel now, or the Disney streaming service. My God. Yeah, Walt would probably be rotating in his grave at high velocity. I bet that light in the room is flashing on and off frantically. Right, the current president wants to encourage farming and ranching. You mean he wants to encourage cutting down the rainforest? Yeah. Yep. Get rid of him. That would be like voting for a president who wants to drop the price of fuel and get rid of all the environmental policies that have been put into place over the last 20 years. Oh, right, that happened, didn't it? Oh, science exploration is taking a nosedive. Yep, but it costs money, doesn't it? Never watched the Dismal Channel. Oh, no, I just wouldn't subscribe to it. I refuse to pay. So, you know, the reason I don't have a TV license anymore is because I refuse to pay for something I don't watch. Same with Prime TV. It used to be you'd go on Amazon Prime TV and you could watch it all for free. And now you go on there, and I found out the hard way because I was halfway through watching a season of Sleepy Hollow, I think it was, or it might have been Arrow. And I went back on a few days later and it was like, continue watching. Yeah, click. Yeah, this will cost you. You know, what? You want me to pay for something I'm already paying for? No. Only way we can watch the Star Trek, Star Wars stuff now. Now, just wait for it to come out on DVD. Discussed news on Monday with Scott Dowd of Project Peter Harbor. Also sent an email introducing him to our public broadcaster and did a video on Monday. Cool. At least someone managed to do a video on Monday. Have I seen The Boys on Amazon Prime? I've not, no. The Marvel movies have kind of killed superhero type movies for me. I always preferred my heroes to be anti-heroes. Give me a choice between Eric Draven and Captain America, and I'll take Eric Draven every day. I don't really watch anything series-wise anymore. I think the last thing I watched series-wise, and that was only on DVD, was or Blu-ray, was Game of Thrones. I haven't watched anything since then, I don't think. Yes, I really do need to buy myself a DVD or Blu-ray player. Keep with the times, Sharpe. Because I haven't even got a DVD or Blu-ray player at the moment, and so I've got like 1,000 DVDs and Blu-rays I could watch. So yes, it's something on the list of things that Sharpe needs to purchase, but it's not very high on the list of priorities, to be honest. But yes, back to rolling back. Yeah, so I got myself a new head torch this week. No big deal. Reduced on offer and discounted. So, but this one, not only does it do the white light and the red light, so better for not destroying your night vision, but it also has a PIR sensor on it. So you can switch it on and set it there, and it won't turn on unless something goes across the front of the sensor. So I might be able to use that for some kind of paranormally investigatory type stuff. I don't know. We'll have to see and give it a think. See how best to make that work, because it's not got a very long range on it, obviously, because it's only a tiny little head torch. Basically, yeah, something goes across it like a security light outside, and the light comes on, and it's bloody bright, so you're not going to miss it when it turns on, especially in the dark. But yeah, so the main reason I got that is my old one is, well, the elastic headband is non-elastic anymore, and it's the new one is rechargeable, doesn't take AA batteries, and it's a lot brighter. Yes, I'm still. Yeah, it's more like a trail camera. It's just a light. It's not actually got a camera on it. Although when I was in Lidl, I did notice they've got game camera or trail cameras in there at the moment, relatively cheap. But I've got to think about these things. What kind of value am I going to get out of it? The chances are, if I set up a camera like that in my house, all I'm going to catch is pictures and video of me wandering around half naked or naked, going to the loo in the middle of the night rather than anything interesting. And I'm pretty sure if there's one from Lidl, it's probably not too secure. Um, and I at least like to make Yella have to try to see me nude. Um, yeah, so yeah, I was ahead of you. Socks and string vest. No, that's not string vest, Dan. That's just body hair. I haven't owned a string vest for decades. And with this figure, it's not the kind of thing you wear. Yeah, it'd be like one of them stress balls that are in the net where you squeeze it and like the bits come out through the holes in the netting. It's pretty much what it'd look like if I wore a string vest. It wouldn't be pretty. Um, so I'm just waiting for the lights to turn off because I've not changed the settings on them. Mankini. Oh, that'd be even worse. Hippie John is here. Good evening, sir. Hope all is well with you. Da-na-na, 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 da-na. If you don't know, that's the riff to Primus's John the Fisherman. Yeah. I just decided I'm the Wookiee Buddha. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah. It's not a figure, it's an equation. Yeah, I'm hashtag Wookiee Buddha. That's me. As I said, for tomorrow night, if I was going to do the whole having trick or treaters around my house, getting sweeties for doing very little, my costume, I was just going to answer the door in my boxers. Probably the scariest thing that anyone would have seen. There's a rainbow by Primus in my head more than I should. Well, as long as it ain't Winona's big brown beaver, you're okay. Oh dear. Take them off my head first. I've got to keep this hair under control somehow. Ooh, pardon me, that was a popper. Any phantom stories to tell today? Well, there's one that occurred today. Uh, not a phantom per se, more of a feel and a vibe kind of thing while we're at the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul in Swaffham, or Swaffham in the Norfolk. Um, Swaffham in the American. Yes, I mean, the story is in the video. But basically, we were looking for a certain gravestone. We had no idea where it was, and I sort of felt something, so I was like, just stopped and just right, let's open up and let whatever it is that happens happen. And I was like, I'm being drawn that way, so I'm going to walk that way. Walk that way, straight to the grave we were looking for. Then, while we were standing there talking to the supposed spirit of the person who is in there, it's an interesting story, but we'll leave that for when the video comes out. I felt both myself and Mary felt something. Now I felt that I was being pushed away. I was like, okay, fair enough. If you don't want me here, that's fine. That's not a problem. I'll back up. Mary can come in and she can have a natter. So I stepped back a few steps. I'm thinking, I'm still being pushed. There's something wanting me to go backwards. So I turned around and looked. And the grave we weren't even looking for. It was the father's grave of the person whose grave we were looking for. They were facing each other across the graveyard. And yeah, again, it's an interesting story of what happened there. And the grave of the young woman in question, a spirit, an apparition of a woman is seen walking back and forth across the graveyard. I'm wondering whether it is her and she's walking back and forth between hers and her father's grave. Pardon me. Because she died fairly young. And her father paid off the church, basically, so she could be buried in the churchyard. And didn't do it for his other daughters. Yeah, that makes you think, doesn't it? And we're going back to the 1850s, and he paid £400 to the church, which paid for an entire north aisle and window. Yeah. Can you say witchcraft? Or suspected. I don't think she actually was. But the inscription on the gravestone is the chant that is used at witches' burials. So, yeah, all very interesting. Tried to become a member, don't have 99 cents on my account. Oh no. Well, I shall grab, because something's not been put back where it should be. There he is. Because if you do become a member, you become a Zach friend. The floof monster himself, the ghost cat, who spent a chunk of this afternoon snuggled up to Mary's knees, because she's having problems with her knees at the moment. And this is the kind of thing he did when he was alive, and he still does now he's dead. If you've got an owie or a bit that's not working properly, he just knew and snuggled it anyway. Oh, ow. Getting a bit windy around here. Nothing new. Ooh, a bit of warmth in that. Hope that clears up by the morning, because I've got to go to work early. Well, early for me, okay. An 8 o'clock start for me is just like getting up midnight kind of thing. It's not good. The only good thing about an 8 o'clock start for me is that the first few hours of the shift will go very quickly, because I won't be awake. Oh, thank you very much, Mark. Gifting more memberships. And it's down to who's got it switched on. And unfortunately, as Hippie John is on his phone, I'm guessing, it didn't go through to him, unfortunately. Very sorry. But thank you very much again, Mark. Always appreciated, never expected. And it keeps the algae rhythm happy. Oh, even Fish Pan Crust Mess got a membership. Yes. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be taking part in that. So I'm now, but too late. Oh, damn it. Never mind. Yeah. Good attempt, Mark. But hey, these things happen. Um, yeah, so again, this year I probably won't take part in the Fish Fan Crust Mess. Multitude of reasons. The main ones being I'm not a fan of crust mess at all. In general, I have bad memories and stuff of that time of year in general. And also, it means I'm going to have to figure out some tech to get it to actually work. So throughout evolution, which fish scares the hell out of me? Well, to be fair, I'm actually more scared of what they live in than the actual fish in there themselves. So those that don't know, I do have a phobia of water. I can stick my arms in it, that's fine. I can do the maintenance on the tank, so that's not a problem. Doesn't cause me any issues. But like, I like a nice deep bath, and if I have to get out of the bath, I can't get back in it if the water's murky. Which, me being me, the water's going to be murky when I get in and out of the bath. So yeah, anything over knee depth that I can't see the bottom of, you won't get me in. Yeah, it just messes with my fur completely. Hello, Sherry, Mississippi hippie. Um, it all stems from when I was little, like 5 or 6 years old, and we had swimming lessons at school, and I was nervous. I was quite happy sitting the edge, dabbling my feet in the water, and gradually building up the courage to get in the shallow end, which back then would probably been up to about there on me. Um, and the teacher threw me in the deep end, and we all found out the hard way that I am negatively buoyant. So, yes, threw me in the deep end. I sank straight to the bottom like a stone, breathed in a good mouthful of kiddie pee and swimming tank or swimming pool water, and the lifeguard had to dive in and drag me out. So, yeah, that's why I won't get in the water. But fish that I'm scared of, or fish that would terrify me, I mean, if we avoid the obvious ones like um, megalodon or the white shark or the lassophobia, that's the one. Ciao, Marco. How you doing, sir? Hope all is well. I mean, the buzzsaw shark is pretty freaky. Um, lampreys, they're pretty nasty. I mean, imagine like a 6 foot lamprey. I mean, that'd be horrific. What other ones? Well, yeah, fish don't really worry me. I mean, no, I'm a fisherman, so I used to fish quite a lot. So, and then the only ones I really didn't like catching are or were Eels are a nightmare because the small ones tie themselves into knots around your line, and it's just an absolute nightmare. Fine with what phobia. Yeah, fair enough. I should be scared of lifeguards in that case. But the bigger eels, yeah, because they're rather toothy little buggers and they will bite you quite readily. Until I learnt the trick of you lay them on their back and they just stop moving, and then you can get the hook out. Pike, because I never went pike fishing, I only ever caught pike by accident. So never had the gear required to unhook them safely. Thankfully, I never caught any big pike. They're all little jack pike, 2-3 pound at most, but it's still rather toothsome. And yeah, not good when all you got is a little plastic disgorger that's 6 inches long and bare hands. Yeah, the anglerfish is pretty nasty, but deep water fish, so I'm not likely to encounter it. Chewie is a distant relative of the vampire, etc. Is it going to be something like a monstrous, was it the wolf or monstrous vampire fish? Because there is the vampire fish. Did I ever smoke an eel? Are they hard to like? No, I've not personally smoked an eel, but I have had smoked eel. I've also had jellied eel, which is something that Danny boy there is well familiar with. Jellied eels. Definitely an acquired taste. You either like it or you don't. It's yeah, smoking food in the UK isn't really a big thing like it is in other places. We have smoked salmon and smoked haddock, but that's about it. Yeah, jellied eel followed by pie mash and liquor. Yes, nom 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 nom, or otherwise known as parsley sauce. But yeah, epic. If you ever visit London, don't go to the posh places for food. Go for the place that you look at and you think, I ain't going in there for food. Because that's where you'll have the best food. That's where you'll get your jellied eels and your pie and mash. Home of the kipper. Yes, smoke me a kipper, I'll be back for breakfast. Yeah, well, kippers and bloaters, yes. Yeah, it's not something, I know it's the home of the smoked kipper, but it's not really very popular these days. It's like things like, when I was a kid, there was always tins of sardines and things like that people would have. But a lot of it, you very rarely see people having them these days. They're bloody good for you. Howdy, Jamie. Sorry if I missed you coming in. I was probably waffling. Oh, and Marco's going for din-dins. So, ciao again, Marco. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, things like kippers have just gone out of fashion, I think. I think people go, ew, it's got bones in it. You boil it in a bag, ew. And then they'll go and have something. Oh, I had this wonderful steak sous vide. You mean boil in the bag steak? Yeah, that's night for my aquarium battery. What's happened is clocks have gone back and I haven't changed the timers on those two tanks. The genus was Xiphactinus. I'm guessing it's something big with massive teeth. That's what my guess is. It's generally what people would be scared of, and if you're saying a vampire, etc., then I'm thinking the reason they're called vampire, etc., is probably because they got fangs. Yeah, keep your eyes on the road, Jamie. I'd rather you lurk and live than type and die. Let's put it that way. But yeah, that's my guess anyway. It's going to be something large and toothy, like like a bigger version of the Goliath tiger fish. Bottom teeth that are used for killing discus and piranha. Oh, and anything that eats discus is fine by me. Piranha, because they basically, well, piranha are basically less colourful discus, let's be honest. And they're both mostly meativores. So, yeah, at least discus are kind of pretty to look at. Piranhas are kind of meh. Apologies to any piranha keepers out there, but you know, if I was going to have a tank big enough to keep discus or piranha in, I'd put something in there a bit more interesting. Then I used to love lutefisk. Ah, yes, is that the fermented whale meat? Because surströmming is the fermented sardine or herring, one with the can expands. Teeth are used for spearing a fish, as well as it containing a bacteria you do not want to be bitten by a vampire, etc. I'd rather not be bitten by anything if I could help it. It's bad enough getting. There we go. Marco's broken out the nerd pants. Xiphactinus audax is a huge 6-meter predator living in the ancient sea that covered most of the USA and Canada in the late Cretaceous, resembled a huge herring with razor-sharp teeth. Yeah. Big and toothy. Still probably not as freaky looking as a buzzsaw shark, though. I've eaten worse things. I've had brawn and haslet. I've eaten pig's trotters. And as I don't have a sense of smell, those things don't bother me. Yeah, it's like all those kind of food challenges where I'm like, to me, it'd be more of a challenge to eat a banana. Yeah, literally all that's good for is holding these up, and it don't even do that very well. Broken it that often, I can barely breathe through it. So yeah, it got interesting because I didn't notice I'd lost my sense of taste and smell when I had COVID until I was sat there eating a chunk of Stilton cheese and drinking a can of this, and that's when I realised that they both tasted the same. I was like, oh yeah, I have got COVID then. Yeah, so with me, because of that, and no sense of smell means very little sense of taste, which means a lot of my food tastes are based more on texture than they are on flavour. So I don't like mushy. Pig trotters, gelatin goodness, exactly. I don't like mushy, and I'm not a fan of bone-in meat either. So don't. You know who I'm pointing at. Don't go there. And yeah, I don't eat chicken either. But spent several years living on a chicken farm and then several years working in a chicken factory. So there's reasons I don't eat chicken. Specifically not KFC. Because that's just way too expensive for what you get. But there we go. That's also the reason I won't buy anything from Five Guys. I'd rather go to the chippy. Portion of chips and a jumbo sausage for less than £4, and that'll properly fill you up. Various different species related to the vampire tetra is from the Amazon River Basin in Brazil. Not my favourite monster by far, but it has the Halloween name. We're not talking about the Satanoperca, are we? basically the devil perch. Well, have you seen the British perch? That's pretty devilish. Green, black bars and red fins, and got a mouth that would put a biter to shame. And when you catch a fish that long on a worm that long with a hook that big. Kangaroo assa drills holes in bodies. Yeah, careful again. In days of old, when nights were bold and condoms weren't invented, I drilled a hole in a telegraph pole and children were prevented. Jumbo sausage will fool you up, that's what she said. Yes. Yeah. Jumbo sausage, small portion of chips. Well, for my local chippy, I go for a small portion of chips. For most others, I'd go medium. But it's one of those things where when you know the people, they give you a larger portion. There's no polite way of putting that. Not without someone making the joke. Let's be honest, I would as well. So yeah, I mean, literally sometimes I go in there for some chips and it's like, I'm supposed to be a small. Walking home on an angle with the bag of chips in your hand, you're, oh my God, I'm never going to eat all these. And I do because I'm a fat, greedy bastard. Yeah, less than £4. Good filling meal. Or you could go to somewhere like McDonald's and pay double that and be hungry half an hour later and pour most of the drink down the drain because you're not going to drink it all. Why do they do that? Why do they make the drinks so bloody big? Look, the small is about right, but then you obviously want to supersize or go large so you get a decent amount of fries, but then you've got this monster drink that you're never going to drink. Because after about half an hour, all the ice has melted and it's just so watered down, it's bloody horrific. So there you go. Stop putting ice in the drinks and make them smaller. And make the portion of fries larger and drop the prices while you're at it. Also, another reason I won't go to Five Guys. Bloody expensive. Did I watch Piranha 3D? I did. I was just looking to see if the DVD's up there. 3D might be somewhere else, but we have Piranha Double D. They should actually be in alphabetical order, but I'll probably watch some and put them back in the wrong places. Oh, pardon me. But if you're looking for a really good Halloween movie to watch, that one, the right there. Awesome movie. That one's god awful, but you know. Oh dear. Prehistoric piranha, not an older fish as the coelacanth, which used to be in prehistoric rivers. One of the tropical colorations of those fish since dinos have feathers. Yeah. I mean, coelacanths are still pretty cool. I mean, obviously they're not exactly bright and vibrant. They're not some random guppy for coloration, but you know, the fact that they're still around is cool enough. Um, yeah, yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember what the. You see, the thing I remember most about Piranha 3D is not the piranhas. The thing I remember most about that was Kelly Brook. Yeah. Yes. I don't know how you'd classify it. It's a horror movie, yeah, no doubt about it, but it's got that many boobs in it that it may as well be a teen comedy. It's like if American Pie met Jaws, basically. Um, how I watch Mega Piranha? Probably. The amount of really bad horror movies I've watched over the years is ludicrous, so I've probably seen it. Um, I don't think I own it. I may have had it on VHS at one point. I've even got a copy of Dino Shark around here somewhere, which is an old Roger Corman movie. So I'll say old Roger Corman. Oh yeah, Lake Placid was a good one. It was yeah, that was a good overgrown walk creature movie. Most of them just get really cheesy. That's the problem. So they overdo it. It's like well, Anaconda. No, let's make this thing like 100 feet long and big enough to swallow a boat. And no, you don't need to. It's a flipping anaconda. Normal size is plenty scary enough. Jurassic Park DNA type of film. We cross it with flying fish. Then we educated him on vampire tetras and Goliath, tigerfish. Yeah, that is the thing that you find that Hollywood will invent something and then someone can go, yeah, there's something far scarier in real life. This is scarier. It exists. It's swimming around in the rivers. Yeah, don't go swimming in the Congo River. Yeah, right. If the crocs and the hippos don't get you first, then the Goliath tigerfish probably will, or the Nile perch. You know, it's something when an animal evolves holes in its upper skull for its teeth to fit through. That's the wolffish, I think, wasn't it? A fun discussion that we had. I've got this really cool idea. Yeah, nature's already done it, mate. I'm trying to see what other horror movies I've got up there that I would recommend for Halloween viewing. There's lots of really bad ones there. Some I can't even remember. I've watched them, I know that. Sleepy Hollow is always good. Um, I think most of the other ones I've got up there are random Korean and Japanese movies. Some of them are pretty horrific, but I had a little Star Trek and make a vampire tetra a changeling. A fin walker, rather than a skinwalker. Yes. Well, instead of Skinwalker Ranch, what would that be? That'd be Finwalker Aquarium, where the visitors keep disappearing in strange circumstances and discovered with two holes in their neck. There you go, Hollywood. That's more interesting than half. Oh yeah, Event Horizon. Oh, that is an epic movie. I've definitely got that. If you want something similar to Event Horizon, Sunshine's a good one. Oh, it is up here. Joys of alphabetical order. Ching. Who is it? It's a Danny Boyle movie, so you know it's going to be good. Rose Byrne, Cliff Curtis, Chris Evans. Yes, a very young Chris Evans. Troy Garrity, Killian Murphy, Hiroyuki Sanada, Benedict Wong, Michelle Yeoh. Is it Gary Sinise in that as well? I can't remember. It's been a while. Was that Mission to Mars? Well, it was Gary Sinise. But yeah, Sunshine's a good movie. Mission to Mars was as well. Gary Sinise. That one got a bit dark. Yeah, it's a good solid movie. I really do need to get myself a DVD player. God knows how cheap they are these days. Probably cheaper than the can of Monster. And it's probably at the point where they're all basically the same machine, like the tape players are. Basically, all tape decks these days have exactly the same tape mechanism in them. Look up the title on YouTube. Italian Cichlid Association news from prehistoric cities. Oh, jeez. That's going to take some typing, Danny boy. Oh, just the thought of typing that much is giving me wind. Hello, Mr. Nanakara. You can come out to play. That is possibly the only real development this week is that Mr. and Missy Nanakara have got their breeding plumage on. So fingers crossed, we might at some point get Nanakara babies swimming around, which would be awesome. Got to say, I wouldn't be complaining about that. But yeah. And thankfully, copy pasta works. Good, good, good. Yeah, I'm old school. I write these things down, and then I've got colleagues who like someone will shout a part number, and or they'll find something on the website for someone, and they'll copy paste and cut and print. What? Just write it down. It's quicker. Julian Johnson Mortimer, this guy's a real paleo artist animation. Cool. Animates dinosaurs. Yeah. Ooh, and what else is going on? Trying to think what else is going on this week. So we got Halloween or All Hallows Eve or Samhain tomorrow. And we're into November. No, I'm not going to grow a moustache from Movember. And no, I didn't stop anything for Stoptober either. Evolution of all those done Piranha movies. Yeah, cool. I've been saying cool a lot today. Don't mean to. I'm trying to think what other good horror movies. I mean, Showgirls is a horror movie. Let's be honest. It's a pretty horrific piece of cinematography, anyway. Let's take something with no plot and get that girl who used to be in Saved by the Bell to get her kit off. pretty much the only reason for that movie existing, wasn't it? And it killed her career totally. I think everyone involved with that movie's career died after it, except for perhaps Paul Verhoeven. But there we go. Second week of asking for Sharpe foot cam. You don't want to see my hooves. That's why I've grown a belly, is so I don't have to see them. Plus, it's getting to that time of year where even I wear socks. Plus, I can't get my feet up that high. Oh, there you are. I've got a feeling you're going to be dropping fry very shortly, aren't you, Missy? You're the size of you. Jeez. Don't kink shame. I'm not kink shaming. I mean, you could watch all creatures grunt and smell, sorry, great and small, and see just the same thing. I mean, do you reckon that Limia might be quite close to giving birth? Look at the size of her. Jeez, she is massive. Like a submarine swimming around in there. Can we see any of the fry? Because they're all hiding up in the... No. They're all hiding up in the valve. Look. Camera ham time. Yeah. Oh. And there's the Mr. Nanakara in the background. There's Ernie just does what Ernie does. Look at me! I know I'm looking at these plectlets, but I am just looking at them. I'm not even going to try and eat them. I'm not that kind of fishy. Let's see if we can spot missing Nanakara. Not Corey snuggle time. Where are you? Where's the Nanakara's hiding up? I suppose in all likelihood what I should do is take the Nanakaras out of this tank and put them somewhere else. Somewhere where they can be top dog. Although realistically, I'm not entirely sure who the tank boss is in here. I suspect it might be the female bristlenose, Bertie. Look at the size of her, bless her. If she doesn't drop fry soon, she's going to pop. There he is. There's Mr. Nanakara. And he keeps going down the back there, which makes me think Missy Nanakara might be down there as well. Oh, there's Bertie. She's on the wood. Yeah. He is definitely a gorgeous boy. Look at him. Oh, is he coming forward to investigate? There we go. That's it. Catch a light, dude. Hello again, Ernie. Yeah, Missy Nanakara is hiding, so she might be on eggs. We don't know. Never know. Weirder things have happened. It's not like I've not had fish do the breedy during a stream before. Although, to be fair, that was bristlenoses, and yeah, that's not a rarity around here, is it? Although it is at the moment. Thankfully, they're both having a break, so yay. I did call today did call yesterday to see whether the LFS wanted any fishies this week, but they didn't, so hence why we went out exploring today. I had a delivery, but they don't tend to get too many interesting things in. So, never know. We might have a look next weekend to see what happens. Um, if I can sort out a heater for that tub, then we'll have somewhere to quarantine some nice new fishies. And then we just got to think about what we're going to get. Um, Still tempted with the red-tailed goodeids. But do I leave it until I've emptied the little 15-litre tank of shrimp and the Kubitai reservoir and then put something a bit bigger in that gap? Because I know I've got enough room there for a mini flex. This is whether the random bit of wood I've got upstairs is big enough for a normal size flex or such to fit on top, and whether the heights and things with gaps and spaces will work. But a bit of measuring stick out and scratching of heads and figuring of things out, and we should soon figure it out. If I go for another flex, then another normal size flex, 15 gallon, 57 litre, then there's a possibility that we might try a different flavour of bristlenose. He says, hoping that he realises that would be a really bad idea. So there you go, 15-gallon tank. Here's a thought process for you. 15-gallon community tank, preferably with some bottom dwellery type, cleanup-y type fishies that will breed, that aren't bristlenoses. Some kind of smaller community type, diddery type fish that aren't guppies or neons or other kind of standard tetras. And then a pair of something else that would breed. Ideally, wanting everything to breed so we can sell it all and make money. But yeah, 15-gallon. But don't think of it as 15-gallon because you know what Sharpe stocking levels go like. You know, who else breeds bristlenoses in a 15? So yeah, 20-gallon community with everything breeding. What would you go for? Answers in the chat now. And it's got to be something that's actually available and I can afford. So no completely random, weird and endangered species, Chewy. There's a lot of the things aren't available over here. Or if they are available, they're mail order only and I'm not paying more than the fish cost for the shipping. Just put that out there. Howdy, Silver. And driving. Good. Lurking and driving. Best way to be. Hope all is well. Got an itchy head. Oh, this is the other thing that happened while we were out today and I was filming and things. Yeah, camera battery got drained down again and my phone got drained again. So yeah, they were both basically full and both basically dead by the time we finished. And we were only there about 45 minutes and I was only filming for about 25. What would we go for? Dark Night Rams, Pygmy Cories and Chili Rasbora. That's cool. That's a very interesting combination. Only issue is that rams do not do well in my water. It's way too hard for rams. I've tried rams several times and I've just decided, nope, not gonna work. I mean, I've had them spawn, but no, they literally managed 2 months. Posted the UFO footage and tagged me in the video. Was I able to see it? I didn't see it. I do apologise. I didn't get any notifications come up. Ooh, ooh. Pistoborellii. Oh, they're cool. A pair of those would be cool. I could get them breeding. Then there's also the possibility, I've been thinking of maybe doing a blackwater. So that would end up being softer, wouldn't it? Just by dint of being a blackwater tank. So the selection of fish are limited from the limited stock of the LFS. Yeah, I've got several LFSs to choose from, though. This is the thing. One of which, the one that I sell to, is mostly the obvious things that they stock. They don't tend to stock the more niche fish unless someone breeds them and sells them to them. I got it set as a private video. Tag me in the top, so I didn't know if that will work or not. You can send me the link either on Messenger, is probably the easiest way. If you got me on Facebook, I'm just on Facebook as John Sharpe. So if you're a friend with someone who's a friend of me, it will show up. Yeah, so the big LFS is mostly your basic stuff. Buy lots and lots, sell them cheap. As Dan will testify, £10 for a longfin super red bristlenose is dirt cheap. And that's what they sell them at there. Is what always makes me laugh when people talk about $25 for a trio of guppies. And I'm like, yeah, they got the same things there for like £2. Yeah, I mean, what are they around you, Dan? They're normally £25-30 around here for a longfin super red. I think that's what I paid for. I think I paid 30 for ginger and 25 for Fred. I think there's about 20 for Dig and Doug as well, and they're the lemon blue eyes, and not the longfin either. But yeah, so pygmy cories is a good idea. I've had a little bit of luck breeding cories. I mean, I've bred the Palliatus and the albino bronzes in here have laid eggs. Obviously, they got eaten, but you know, not much you can do about that. Now, as you catch them straight away, yeah. When you got bristlenoses, limias, other cories, and plecos in there, fish eggs don't last very long. I doubt that your car has at them because they don't bother anything. But yeah, probably not. So Bert there is, or Ernie there, is not trying to eat the bristlenoses. You're probably trying to get to the bits of algae wafer in the bottom of the breeder box. Oh. Howdy Roy, how you doing? It's pardon crazy family in the background. Well, let's just have a look. See, I thought my phone was pinging away at me. Going ping, ping. Yep, thank you very much. That's turned it up. I shall give that a view later. Oh, it's on WhatsApp. That's just Mary saying she's got home safe. Good, good, good. Yeah, I'm all right. It's just every other bugger. Always the case. Yeah, it's one of those things we can always have a grumble about things. Yeah, Mr. DKF is here. He does do some cracking wee videos. I've watched a lot of them as well. Forktail rainbows with spawning mock peacock gudgeon. Yeah, I've tried the peacock gudgeon before. There might just be where I got them from. They didn't do very well, but they're very pretty fishies. Yeah, so the forktail is the pseudomagills, isn't it? The little pom-pom rainbows, as I call them. Yeah, no, I'm not going to play it live. Don't worry, Silver. I'm not going to play it live. Actually, I could get done for copyright if I did that because you own the copyright on that video. And if it's up on YouTube, family is family. That happened. It weren't family obviously today, but as we were leaving the church, I was still filming, and I've got a camcorder in my hands. So it's not like I'm being sneaky with a little GoPro strapped to my chest or something like that. I've got full-on camcorder in my hand, and I'm talking. And there were ducks in the graveyard, and this old lady in a mobility scooter comes along. And she just stops, lets the ducks go past, and as she's driving behind me, she goes, "Oh, most places you get a pelican crossing, but here we have a duck crossing. Ha 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 ha." I was like, "Oh, fuck's sake." Nearly finished the bloody video. So yeah, that's going to be left in. But yeah, I say we've all had heater malfunctions, not necessarily quite as severe as Dan's, but I managed to create about 12 gallons of pleco and snail soup once when the heater stuck on. Thankfully, there weren't many bristle noses in there. There was only about 25 or 30, but oh, look at this. We've got some hero worship going on. Oh dear. You're just glad you were there at the time. I just wish I'd have caught mine sooner. But it must have been at least overnight because I got up in the morning. Obviously, I can't smell the fact that I've got 10 gallons of ammonia soup. And it wasn't so I got up and I looked down the tank and thought, that looks bloody cloudy in there. What's going on? And it was as soon as I lifted the flap on the top, it was like, whoa, there's some heat coming out of there. And then I spotted all the bodies floating around. And Big J is here. Howdy, sir. How you doing? Hope all is well. But yeah. So, yeah. Dan, like me, doesn't take compliments very well. We're not used to it. Give him an insult, he'll feel better then. I'm not sure that not enough UK YouTubers get enough traction on their videos. Oh, bloody Americans. Well, we try. I mean, admittedly, my production values are about as high as Roger Corman, but and movie geeks will get that joke. Yeah, as Dan says, just enjoying the hobby and documenting it like us all. Yeah. Although you do the editing thing, and I don't. I don't edit. Yeah, more used to insults. Exactly. You know, we don't lurk in while doing. You know, lurk and do your fishy stuff, Clark. Don't worry about it. The fishy stuff needs doing. Yeah, so I mean, there aren't that many UK fish tubers. I mean, we got me and Danny Boy. We got Graham, Aquarium Adventures, MD Fish Tanks, We got Mark's Aquatics. Technically, I'd call Mark's Shrimp Tanks a UK fish tuber, although he lives in Norway now. So how do I put it? I'm not a fan of the aquascapey type channels. Yeah, so George Farmer, MD Fish Tanks, they don't really float my boat. For me personally, I prefer the smaller channels, and the ones that are talking about the fish and the scientific-y stuff. Freshwater ichthyology, Rebecca. She's got some great videos. Gets hardly any views. But you know, what she doesn't know about plecos and loricariids and ancestris and hyper, all the proper names, ain't worth knowing, really. Admittedly, some of her videos, she's had a few get blocked because of people getting upset about her using dead fish. Hint, they're scientific samples. She's not been killing fish. They're preserved specimens. Some people don't seem to understand that. It's like the people in the fish police that don't understand that there are such things as nets and bigger tanks or ponds. Like a certain person on a fishy group that myself and Dan are in, and Dan is one of the admins, who every time someone posts something about goldfish, it's your tank is too small. You need to have at least this much. I just ignore her now. And Dan will know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, big fish lad, obviously. Yeah, as I say, he just does big fish, which we don't necessarily all have the space for. Yeah, he's a chicklet guy. Once you get up and running properly, it's fishery tours and a bit of breeding. That's how it all starts out, and then you start getting like me, and you start getting opinionated. Then you start having mini rant videos. Yeah, for science, it takes a dead fish to identify it, and it's DNA exactly. But no, plenty of people will complain if there are dead animals in a video. I'm surprised I haven't had any complaints about the one from Morley St. Botolph going on about the ritual sacrifices, because there was bits of a dead pigeon on the floor. Goldies never suit me. Every time whatever I get in whatever tank size, I could die overnight. Yeah. See, what I remember of goldfish as a child is that they live for 2 weeks, and then you get a new one. As an adult, which is only recently I've been keeping fish, I've not had goldfish in a tank. Closest they've been to in a tank is in a tub, and then they go in the pond and just get forgotten about in the pond. This is when I go out or look out in the garden and go, oh, pretty fishies. Yeah, so there aren't that many UK fish tubers, and it's kind of a shame because the hobby in the UK is vastly different to it is in the US. I mean, the size of our houses and the size of our tanks, for one, generally. Now, how many times have we watched a video as UK-based fish keepers going and saying, just got a new 75-gallon tank, and we're thinking, how big is that? Is that like 300 litre? Bloody what? How have you got space for 8 300-litre tanks? Ricky, yes, I chose to breed real 24K goldfishes. Asian arrows, far better. Well, No confidence or teeth. Well, at least you got no teeth. No one can tell you got bad teeth. On the state of my blooming teeth, I wouldn't worry about it, right? Just go with it. If you want to do it, do it. There's no rules that say you have to use this camera and this editing software and blah blah blah. Oh, in hell, I've been doing this stuff for donkey's years. Admittedly, I've not got a big channel or anything. There are people who started way later than me that have got way bigger channels, but you know, I make the content I want to make. Yeah, I'll say the confidence thing I can understand. I just have no shame, so it's never been an issue for me. Public speaking, I did it easily at school when we had assignments that involved it. Um, and I just waffle. Literally, my videos are come up with an idea, go, think about it a little bit. By a little bit, I mean like 5 minutes, maybe 10. Maybe do a bit of research if it's something like a species profile where you want to get your facts correct, like where it's from, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, then it's just a case of pick the camera up. Yeah, I am wearing trousers, good. Click record and just start waffling. And then when I run out of stuff to waffle about, go, thank you for watching, bye. Click, upload. Thank you very much, Roy. Do some cracking videos, watch a bunch at work. Eek. Not sure I'm safe for work. Watched the church one the other night. Which church one? That's the question. Limit hundreds of them. Well, not hundreds, but it feels like it. See you later, Ricky. Have a good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Yeah, I say, thing with Fish Fam, right, is if you have a go, have a go. You get support. You won't get slated by anyone in Fish Fam unless you're murdering fish. And yeah, if you ever want, I say if you want, I'll give you shout outs and maybe record a bit for you if you need it. But don't worry about it. We're all chill. And if you get nasty comments from people, the first thing I do before I click anything like reply is look at their channel. 999 times out of 1,000, they're complaining about something like editing or flow or the camera not being quite straight or the script not being very good. And then you look and they haven't got any content. So my current now, when I get a nasty comment like that, is thank you for watching. I look forward to your professionally produced, scripted, directed, and filmed epic video on the same subject. They tend to go away after that. People have been spoiled in some ways by YouTube, where you do get people who have editors and blah blah blah, the bigger channels. Like we all know who Simon Whistler is because he's got about 8,000 different channels, and he has script writers and editors and blah de blah de blah. When you're doing it all yourself and you're working and you've got to look after all your tanks and live a life, you ain't got time for all that. Especially if you're like me and you're uploading 2 videos a week most weeks. So there you go, you're further ahead than me. You got a logo, video editors. Oh dear, I haven't even got a logo yet. No, My avatar is Lenin Cat, which I stole from somewhere donkeys years ago. See, Hippie John don't bother editing most of the time. This is it. If you can film it in one shot, film it in one shot. I tend to decide what I'm going to film when it happens. I mean, with an outline tool from a picture of my green fan. Yeah, that sounds far beyond my computer expertise. What I would probably end up doing is drawing a picture of a pleco on tracing paper, taping it to the computer screen, then opening Paint or whatever, and literally going around the outline. That's pretty much what I'd end up doing. Because I suck at all that kind of stuff. It's yeah, like I say, Hippie John's lives are like mine as well. There's yeah, you just hit the button and waffle, see where it takes you. You might end up discussing the minutiae of bristlenose breeding or KH and GH and pH and tank fluctuations, or you might end up talking about farting and burping. Yeah. Goes where it goes. Now, I'm not one to script anything. I just let life happen. Yeah, so drew one. Silver Queef drew one of his mollies. Don't overthink it. Yeah, just let it go. Yeah, I'll say, let us know once you put a video or two up, and we'll give you shout outs on our channels, and we'll watch and maybe offer constructive criticism if asked for. Otherwise, we won't. I know I'm in no way qualified to criticize anyone's YouTube videos unless they're factually incorrect. And hell, most of the time I can't even hold a camera straight, so there you go. If you've watched any of my wandering around churchyard videos, I can't even hold a camera like that while I'm walking. It goes like that. It's, yeah, I'll say in general, that's what fish fans like, right? Don't worry about it. We're a friendly bunch. Rico's a bit weird, but don't worry about him. Learn as you go and get better as you go. Early ones are pure cringe. Recent ones are cringe too, but I'm having fun, and that's the main thing. Exactly. Yeah, make sure you have the facts correct. The most important part, yeah, because if you get your facts wrong, then it could result in someone else ending up with dead fishies at the worst, or just a wall of people telling you you're wrong. Now, I'm used to a wall of people telling me I'm wrong or that my tanks are overstocked. But generally, the people that will tell you your tanks are overstocked are the people who don't seem to understand that you can do more than one water change or filter clean a week. Balding Reefer, yeah, I've seen some of his videos, but it's like, I'm not a salty person. I'm salty. I get very salty, but I don't have any saltwater tanks. Neither can some of the cameramen that work for TV stations. Hippie John says, all my tanks are overstocked. Yeah, I got you beat though, Hippie John. Dan came across his videos, so they must be good. Bun Bun! how are you, my dear? Hope all is well. And I hope you managed to hide or take down that video with the chestage visible. No, I didn't go hunting for it. I was good. I figured if you wanted me to see, you'd probably just send me a picture anyway. So, you know. But yeah, I mean, as I say, these tanks are 28 litres, which is what? Let's go with 6 gallon. How many people do you know stock 150 bristlenoses in a 6 gallon tank and then add other fish to them as well? Hello, Steffi dear, how are you? I'm good, and I'm over time actually. I've done my 2 hours. Blooming heck, that went fast. Yes, because the clocks went back, so everyone's turning up now thinking they're halfway through. Unfortunately, you missed it. But if you'd be so kind, you can join the replay crew. No, I haven't froze. The problem with having fish tanks in the background is if you do the cheat, they'll look, I've frozen. The fish tank is still moving, so there's a bit of a giveaway. Never mind. Anyway, firstly, I really need a pee, so I've got to go to the loo. And as I say, my 2 hours is up, and I'm probably stepping on someone else's toes right now. So if I stepped on anyone's toes earlier, do apologise, but clocks changing mean different in different parts of the world means stuff happens for a week or two. So I spent the last 3 days doing nothing but driving and go. Oh, in that case, have a good snooze and a nap, Steph. Can't beat a good nap. As I had my nap yesterday and it went on for 4 hours. Just shows I needed it. Anyway, thank you everyone for turning up and being here. Even if you only got here right at the end, it's still appreciated and loved. Stay safe. Enjoy your week. I do every Sunday at 6 to 8, right? Yeah, stay safe. Have fun. Peace out. Rock on. Bye-bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Ah. Bloody computers.